How you guys doing tonight? My name is Ryan, and I'm here to inform y'all about the festivities that happen at the Hill household during Virginia Tech football games. Now picture this. It's the fourth quarter of a really close football game. Every person is on their feet. The Hokies are one win away from clinching the ACC title, and everyone in Elizabeth Stadium is glued to the television. And most of you may be scratching your heads thinking, well, pretty sure the Hokies play at Lane Stadium. That's true. But before every football game, my dad spends time building a stadium. Actually, it's more like a set of bleachers. But, to him it's a stadium. Everybody tells him it's bleachers. But he's convinced that he builds a stadium that he named after his wife Elizabeth for the Hokies. Now, this stadium seats about 15 to 18 people. And over the years, it has become a big hit for people to come watch the Hokies play. Now, it all started back in the year 1999. The stadium was created about 7 years ago. My father wanted to create a great atmosphere for him, friends, and family to come watch football games. And this stadium is built right here in this den. Sits right here in front of this huge big screen 22-inch TV. It has 5 rows. Row A starts about right here. Row E ends about right here. Technically, there's really only 3 rows, but my dad likes to count the feet rows B and D, which I think he's the only one that's counting those are actual rows. There's a big banner that says Elizabeth Stadium, and you got 4 sections named after Ryan, myself, my brother Daniel, my sister Anna, and my brother Robert. And there's actually a fifth section. It's called the Guest of Honor section. And it changes from week to week to, kind of make fun, but not really make fun, just kind of celebrate the special guest that's here for the night. Our next door neighbor, Walt, is generally the guest of honor. He shows up here each and every week, past 7 years. So he has the world record for most guests of honor. Now, for the most important Virginia Tech football games, the stadium kind of spreads. We got a standing room only over here in the kitchen. We'll get up a couple more TVs and we'll set it up. This stadium packs out 50 people. 2 years ago when Tech played at the Sugar Bowl, we actually had 54 people come here, which tied a previous record when Tech played for the national championship in 1999 when we also had 54. Hopefully as Tech keeps getting better, our crowds will keep getting bigger. Now that you guys have a little bit of an idea about the environment, there are some rules and regulations. My dad likes to keep and, make sure this thing stays all right. As the stadium is packed with fans, all are welcome. Whether you're rooting for the Hokies or you're rooting for whatever team's going to lose to the Hokies, it's okay. You can be here. Food and drink is free. Everything is free. To those fans that are Hokie fans, it costs nothing. To Hokie fans, it's all free. I don't make the rules, I just say them out. Don't get hurt. That's a rule that's been with this family since I was, born. I break the rules constantly, but it is a good rule to have. Don't get hurt. More specifically, don't stand up in row E. You're going to bang your head through the ceiling. Not recommended, not fun. 2 years ago, we installed a ceiling fan up on the ceiling. You're no longer allowed to stand in row E. That was not a rule until I stood up, slammed my head straight through the ceiling fan, and started bleeding from the back of the head. So we don't do that anymore either. Probably the most important rule, have a good attitude. The stadium is not for sensitive fans, so stay a good sport. We like to mix it up a bit. If we got one guy that's rooting for West Virginia and 50 Hokie fans, that guy knows he's going to get poked fun at all day. And he can poke fun right back, especially if somehow they start winning on us, God forbid. We're going to hear it from this guy. He's going to be having a blast, and we're going to be sitting there miserable. That's about it as far as what goes on during the games. I'd like to look back at a couple special memories we've had over the years. The first I want to talk about is the opening ceremony, which was given the very first day the stadium came up. In 1999, it was the first televised game against Clemson. My dad gave a speech in front of about 25 people. Ended up lasting 20 minutes. Some of us thought it was about 20 minutes too long, but we all sat through it and all really appreciated it. He did, though, however, he predicted that Virginia Tech would end up playing in the national championship game and that Nebraska would finish in 3rd place. I don't know where he got his prediction, but that was a beautiful prediction because Virginia Tech did end up playing in the national championship game against Florida State, and somehow Nebraska ended up finishing in 3rd. It was fun, that game, national championship, when Virginia Tech was here. Well, not here, but, you know. Virginia Tech was playing for the national championship game. ABC was looking for rowdy fans that were having a good time up here in Northern Virginia. What are they doing, getting excited about the game? They actually came to our house. My dad and I sat right here in the stadium, and they interviewed us. Said, what are you going to do? Are you excited? This and that. We said, we're thrilled. I said, I don't want to sit in the stadium. I'd rather have a sofa seat because the stadium isn't too comfortable, but you know what? It's fun. The guys got a kick out of it. They put me on the news along with my dad. We had a couple minutes of fame, and Elizabeth Stadium entered into the popular culture. As far as all the other games, man, they've all been a blast. Ever since we put up the stadium 7 years ago, we've had 7 bowl games. They've all been a blast. We haven't won them all. We've all had big crowds. It keeps getting bigger, we hope. The most important thing is to remember is to just have fun. The stadium was built for a great time. Even if your team loses, you still want to enjoy yourself and enjoy the atmosphere. As my dad says sometimes, this is what football is all about. And I'm not exactly sure I know what he's talking about, but I think what he's saying is that it's all about enjoying your friends and enjoying the football game. Football at Elizabeth Stadium has become a fantastic event. And as the years go along, and as Virginia Tech continues to have football games, Elizabeth Stadium will be there, cheering for the Hokies as loud as we can. And it's been said, the louder you yell, the easier it is for the players to hear you. I guess that has a little bit of truth to it. But whether the players can hear us or not, we will always be here in spirit. Thank you.
Go Hokies! Go Hokies!
Go Hokies!